What's up? What's up, my good people? On our sweet planet Earth. As usual, as I like to say, wherever you are on our wonderful world, I hope you're having a wonderful, prosperous, healthy, and divine day. As you can see from the title in this article, NASA says Earth is greener today than 20 years ago, thanks to China and India. I was so elated to find this article because usually when people quote an article on their particular YouTube channel, it's about something negative. I finally was happy to report on something good. And I think from now on, I'm going to try to find good news to report about. Nothing, no earthquake, no disaster, but I do report on the Bible, so that's good. Before I start going over this article, first I have a brief clip from YouTube. Now I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, the clip is not, no one is talking. You have to read the text on the screen. So I'm going to start right now. Once more, I'm so happy and elated to report on this because for so many decades,
this video was made possible by Squarespace. Build your beautiful website for 10% off at squarespace.com/Wendover. Imagine a train that took you.
We hear about rising sea levels, tsunamis, earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, severe cold spots on certain spots on the earth, severe forest fires that never happened before, severe temperatures, and it's triple digits that we never heard about, and all that's been credited to climate change. In this article, human beings are doing something to combat climate change, which we rarely hear about. Alright, so let me start reading the article. I'm going to read the title once more. NASA says Earth is greener today than 20 years ago, thanks to China and India, nations that we complain about as being pollutant rich. So, let me delve into the article. What's this? There's always something negative pop up on the screen. Alright, sorry about that. NASA has some good news. Wow, fantastic. The world is a greener place today than it was 20 years ago. What prompted the change? Well, it appears, as discussed earlier, China and India can take the majority of the credit. Not the United States, not Great Britain, not Japan. China and India are doing their part. So China and India, they can point their finger at the rest of the world, at the rest of the nation, saying, what are you doing? We make an impact. We show that we love the earth. In contrast to the perception of China and India's willingness to overexploit land, which they did, they got that bad reputation about being severe polluted parts of the world. We gave them credit for just destroying all their forests and not care. Now they show that they care. water and resources for economic gain. The countries are responsible for the largest greening of the planet in the past 2 decades. The most populous countries have implemented ambitious tree planting programs and scaled up their implementation and technology around agriculture. So not only are they planting trees, they are investing in agriculture to enrich the soil, to enrich the earth, and basically care for all the creatures on the planet. When they reforesting areas, they are contributing to habitat for other species. Not just helping the actual earth, they helping chimps, all type of wildlife that loves to live in a forested area. India continues to break world records in tree planting with 800,000 trees. India's planting 50 million trees in just 24 hours. Wow. That's a massive amount, lot of trees in 24 hours. The recent finding by NASA and published in the journal Nature Sustainability compared satellite data from the mid-1990s to today using high-resolution imagery. Initially, the researchers were unsure what caused a significant uptick in greening around the planet. It was unclear whether a warming planet, greenhouse effect, increased carbon dioxide, which is CO2, or a wetter climate could have caused more plants to grow. In India and China, they wasn't even bringing attention to themselves. They wasn't even saying, look at me, look what I'm doing. Like the United States and some other countries like to do. Look at me, look at me, look at me, what I'm doing. They kept their mouth shut. After further investigation of the satellite imagery, the researchers found that the greening was disproportionately located in China and India. If the greening was primarily a response from climate change and a warming planet, the increased vegetation shouldn't be limited to country borders. In addition, higher latitude regions should become greener faster than lower latitudes. As permafrost melts, areas like northern Russia become more habitable. And you see that little map of the planet right there, the 2D map. The map above shows the relative greening increase in vegetation and browning decreasing vegetation around the globe. As you can see, both China over here, here's China in this circle, and India in this other circular area, and this other circular area, I didn't mention this country. As you can see, both China and India have significant greening, and we can see it looks dark green over here. Look at the United States where I live at. Look at the United States. Look at South America, Africa. I see the desert part up here. Significant in China right here, and India right here. The United States sits at number 7 in a total change in vegetation percent by decade. Of course, the chart below can hide where each country started. For example, a country that largely kept their forest and vegetation intact would have little room to increase percent vegetation, whereas a country that heavily relied on deforestation would have more room to grow, which makes sense. Your area is already green, so how much greener can it become? If you cut down all your trees and you start to plant again, it becomes greener, or it's a noticeable change with the satellites and all the imagery taken. Here's a map right here that explains China and India lead in greening due to human activity. Something wonderful. Humans are taking control of their destiny. NASA used moderate resolution imaging spectrometers to get a detailed picture of Earth's global vegetation through time. The technique provided up to 500 meter resolution for the past 2 decades. Both China and India went through phases of large-scale deforestation in the 1970s and 80s, clearing old growth forests for urban development, farming, and agriculture. However, it is clear that when presented with a problem, humans are incredibly adept at finding solutions, which China and India have done. Even the United States at number 7. The United States, my country, is doing something. At least we're not at number 20 or 30. When the focus shifted in the 90s to reducing air and soil pollution and combating climate change, the two countries made tremendous shifts in their overall land use. It is encouraging to see swift and rapid change in governance and land use when presented with a dilemma. It is something that will continue to be a necessary skill in the decades to come. Alright, let's see who wrote this article. Let me go back to the top. It didn't say, but the author is Trevor Nace, contributor, science. I don't know the name of in Forbes magazine. Wow, a reputable magazine. So Forbes, ladies and gentlemen, has given this report. So if it's coming from Forbes, for the most part, you know it's legit. It's not no backwater internet magazine. Forbes. So if you like my content on praising how human beings are contributing to saving the earth, give me a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe to future content knowing about how human beings are saving the planet that our Creator gave us, please subscribe to this channel. So you all take care. Like I always like to say, keep reading your Bible and keep praying. Goodbye.